You see the title, Making Money is Not Hard, So Stop Saying Man. This is the video that I wish I would have seen, a long ass time ago, and then, you get to see it right now. You get to learn the lesson. So right now I'm currently on the balcony. I'm in Panama City Beach, Florida. I was able to bring my family down here, my wife, my daughter, for spring break. This is the first time that we've been here before. This is not the most luxurious, expensive vacation, but the story leading up to this. So our minds are very powerful. They're capable of amazing things, life-changing things. But they're also capable of the polar opposite, like ruin your life based on how you think, your thoughts. So about a month ago, my wife's talking to me and she told me that spring break is coming up. Our daughter had asked her, are we doing anything? And she told her, like financially, we make money, we have a lot of overhead, and it just didn't make sense at the time. Long story short, it just didn't make sense. And it was like, I don't see how that would be possible for us to do right now. And then now about 2 to 3 weeks ago, my daughter's sitting talking to me. She brings up spring break, and then she said, are we going anywhere? And I brought up, we live in Michigan. Maybe we could drive to a house. Maybe we go to a water park or go to a hotel. She didn't really seem interested in doing that. My daughter's not super spoiled. I've taught her a lot of lessons. She appreciates things. She knows how to work, earning money. I teach her a lot of different stuff, but I also want to provide a life for her because it makes me feel good. There's no better feeling in the world when my daughter was 3 and I was able to take her to Disney World, and I remember just being there, and then they were chanting, dreams come true, dreams come true. And I'm just like, holy shit, man. I didn't give up on my dream. I'm holding my daughter. She's 3 years old. Like my dream, my career, that thing that I wanted to do that was so hard to do got me in a position to where I was making enough money to be able to take my daughter there. Since then, I took her there 5 to 10 times. But sitting talking to her at the time, financially, it didn't make sense. She brought up Florida. And I remember back when I was in school, it was like the thing to do on spring break. People would go to Florida, and then people would come back to school with a tan, and then you would feel like left out if you didn't have a tan. I remember some years my parents, we didn't do anything on spring break, and I'd be like, okay, well, I'm about to be outside as often as I can, and if the weather was nice, and I want to try to get a tan back in Michigan, so when spring break is over, I could be tan like everyone else. Even though they went to Florida, I didn't. But talking to my daughter, and I put myself back in her shoes, like, damn, okay. And I said, well, I'll let you know, there's no promises, but I just want you to remember that right now I'm telling you, I don't know if we'll be able to or not. So there's a chance that we may not be able to, and that's fine. And there's also a chance that we'll figure it out, and I'll let you know. And she understood, okay. So then I told my wife this. I won't say like specific dollar amounts, but then I sat down and I wrote out, okay, it's like the lesson here is just aim big, set much bigger goals. If you wrote down on a piece of paper, I'm trying to make $1,000, your brain is going to start thinking of ways to make $1,000. If instead you wrote down, I'm trying to make $10,000, your brain is gonna be like, oh shit, at first I had all these ideas on the $1,000. Oh, we're trying to make $10,000? We're gonna have to do this, this, and this. But your brain starts thinking of ways. And so then if you challenge your brain and like, I need to make $100,000 in this time frame, your brain's gonna start sorting through that. And it's gonna be like, well, definitely it's not this. That was part of the reason why I stopped offering studio sessions. It no longer made sense for me to do that, and I'm aligned with my goals and what I had going on. But I wrote down on a piece of paper, a big dollar amount at the top, way bigger than to come here. Because to me, when I'm building a business, I'm investing, it feels great whenever I'm spending money on the studio, because I know this is an investment. The studio is an asset that brings in money. So I know that it's an investment when I spend thousands of dollars on this thing for the studio, because we're gonna use this thing and it's gonna make us tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. It makes sense. If I'm going on a vacation, there's not like a direct ROI on vacation. This is not an asset, it's spending money. Creating memories, spending time with your family, all that great stuff. But again, business-wise, there's not return on investment with vacationing. So I'm like, okay, the vacation would cost around this thousands of dollars. Let me set a goal of making 10x that in the tens of thousands of dollars in this time frame. Because then if I do that, it's like, oh, I kept 90% of it and 10% will go towards the vacation. So I wrote a number down at the top of the paper. And this is why it's good to, when you set goals, get very clear and specific. You don't write down, I want to make more money or I make a lot of money. It's like, get specific. I make $100,000 every this, or I make this much money an hour, I make this much money a week, I make this much money a month, a specific dollar amount. So I wrote that down at the top of the piece of paper. Then I started thinking to myself, okay, who have I talked to recently? Who could I reach out to? What ideas are coming to my brain? Because remember, I put down the big number at the top of the paper. And so it forced my brain to go into solve that problem. Okay, well, in order to get that amount of money, I could reach out to this person about doing this. I could follow up with this person about this. I could call this person to see if they still were interested in this. I started going and I started writing all these things down on the piece of paper. Fast forward, I hit the number and we're here right now. This is a reward for, holy shit, you know how good it will feel to be able to take my family on vacation and pull this off? Because now when I'm here, I'll enjoy it. And I'll enjoy it because I know how hard I work to earn it. So from doing it, now my brain is like, I can't wait to get back because I'm gonna continue to apply this to the next 12 weeks. Because it's about to be April and you have quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. I'm big on setting 12-week goals. If you guys are interested in me making a video talking about 12-week goals, just comment 12 weeks, 12 weeks. Also, if you're interested, I'm gonna roll out a mentorship, which will probably also be 12 weeks. Comment mentor. Plus there'll be links in the description to all this stuff as well. So yeah, I'm like, man, I can't wait to get back and apply this same thing. Like, okay, what's the most amount of money that I've ever earned in a month prior to this? I wanna double or triple X that this next quarter. And I'm gonna write this dollar amount at the top. And then in my subconscious is gonna start working on, okay, that's a big number. Well, if you were to do this cheap thing, you'd have to do that thousands of times. That's very unrealistic. So now I'm thinking of big problems. What are big problems that I can solve? Man, you'd be surprised what your mind and what you're capable of doing when you set a very clear, big, specific goal. And not obsessed, but like what I did was I wrote it down and I folded it and I put it in my pocket. And what I did was, that's what I looked at the first thing in the morning. And then on the other side, I also wrote down some affirmations that said like, I have X amount of money in my bank account. I own a multi-million-dollar studio. I'm respected and followed by millions of people all over the world. I wrote down 5 or 10 different specific things. I attract opportunities was one of them. And I feel like from me saying that over and over, I attract opportunities, I attract opportunities, I attract opportunities. Opportunities started coming my way. And then again, the opportunities that were coming my way weren't $50 things, $60 things, $100 things. I had a big goal, a big number. So the opportunities that started coming my way are like, ooh, this is a big $15,000 opportunity. This is a big $5,000, $10,000 opportunity. That's what I was attracting, but I was saying it out loud, like tuning into that frequency. I don't know the specifics on how the shit works, but I'm just here to say that the shit works. Trust me, I've struggled just like you. I'm still in a place of, some months we crush it. Some months I'm really busy with building a business and all of my time is going towards building business, creating systems, which is not like a return on investment thing right away. This is like, I need to bring on people to start doing this for me. So let me document my process so I can teach somebody else how to do this. Well, let's say more than half of my time is going to that. It's not earning money, it's doing all these systems and stuff so I can have a company and hire people and etc. So yeah, I've had very low months and then it's like, oh shit, enough of this, we gotta go out and earn. So I'm gonna press pause on this, boom, and now I'm gonna go out here and earn. That's like a cycle I go back and forth between. I just proved something to myself these last few weeks with what's possible with earning money. And now I feel so confident that if I sat down with you and it was like, where are you currently at? What have you tried? Okay, what's the most you've earned doing this? What's the most you've achieved in a time frame? Okay, we're gonna set our goal here. It's clear and it's bigger. It's gonna force you to be like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to change blah, blah, blah to do this. Like, yes, but those changes are what's required to get the thing. You can earn as much money as you can set your mind to, but you have to set your mind to it. So what I challenge you to do is get a piece of paper, write out at the top a specific dollar amount goal. And I would do something bigger. An example would be if you're used to making $2,000 a month, on the top of the piece of paper, write 2.5 times that. So you're gonna write, I will make $5,000 next month, or how to make $5,000 next month, or I will make $5,000 next month. You have that clear goal. And then now just let the thoughts start coming to your mind. Like, what are different ways that you can make money? And just write down every idea possible and you get it all out on the paper. And then what's cool is you'll start seeing, okay, well, I I normally get 50 bucks when I do this thing. Okay, so 50 bucks doing this thing. I need to make $5,000. So I would have to do, 100 of these. You know, is it possible to do 100 of these in a month? No, the most I've ever done is 10. Okay, but that's not the answer then. You see what I'm saying? You challenge your thinking, but there's like levels to this shit. And right now you're currently probably capped out at this level because it's also the same level of thinking that you have, the level of problem solving. Your skill set is capped out right here, but the next level, this dollar amount, this goal that you're gonna write at the top is the next level. So in order to break through, shit's gotta change. You gotta start doing things that you haven't done before. From me say nothing changes if nothing changes, and that's true. So what changed specifically for me the few weeks before this vacation was writing that specific dollar amount at the top. And it's like, I crushed it. I was like, holy shit, I did that. When you see people that are confident, it's because they've proven to themselves that they're capable of doing hard shit. But in order to become somebody confident, it all starts with what is something that you could do that is hard, that you want, and it won't be easy, and then making that promise to yourself and seeing it through. And once you do it, this unlocks and you're like, oh shit, I'm a bad motherfucker. I'm capable of doing some cool shit. Okay, let's set the bar here again. A tip would be don't set the bar too high where it's out of reach. So you find a balance between setting a goal of, if you make $1,000 a month, you're not gonna say, I'm gonna make $1,100 next month. That's not a big enough goal. You know, I would say double to 2.5 to maybe triple at most with certain goals. But you know, there's gonna be people out there that 20x, whatever. So challenge yourself, get specific with your goals, write the shit down, and then look at it. It's like we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. There's not new shit you have to learn every single day. A lot of it is just remind yourself of what's the goal. Remind yourself, you know? And so for me, that was, okay, I just got to the studio. I know I'm gonna work. What exactly am I gonna work on? I was like, no, I see the goal right here. Follow up with this person about this. Reach out to this person about this. Go film this. Go edit this. I knew exactly what I needed to do, but I would have never figured any of that shit out if I didn't write it down on the piece of paper. So there's power in, I think manifesting certain things, writing things down in present tense. So you could feel weak, but you're writing down, I am strong and confident. But when you say it, I'm strong and confident, maybe the first time you say it, you're like, I don't believe you. I'm strong and confident. Still don't believe you. I'm strong and confident. I'm strong and confident. I'm strong and confident. You say it 5 times, you're gonna feel it more. And that's what I did with my list of my mantras, the 5 to 10 of those. I would read it 5 times in a row. And I would go to the next one, read it 5 times in a row. Because again, what I found is the first few times you say it, it's like you don't believe yourself. It's like, you sound crazy. You're saying that you have X amount in the bank, knowing you do not have X amount in the bank. But you say it again, you're like, maybe I do have that much in the bank. You say it the 3rd time, it's like, oh, it's possible. And once you start to believe it, then you can see it and then you achieve it, you know? Hope this video was helpful. Give the video a thumbs up if it was. Drop a comment, let me know what questions or topics you guys want me to talk about in future videos. If you guys are interested in getting one-on-one help by me, working with me, I'll have links in the description. Courses, booking me for services, everything will be linked in the description. Appreciate you guys. See you guys in the next video, and check this video out. See you there.